Okay, so today we'll be going over some of the changes to the Borderlands series in the latest entry. It's no secret that Borderlands 4 is trying to be the big boy in the franchise with more core gameplay changes than we've seen previously. In today's video, I just want to touch on some of these things and compile a small list of what's going to be changing the Borderlands game forever. Just before we get into the list, maxroll.gg have released the interactable skill trees for Rafa and Vex, allowing for us to make builds, so I'll be using that from now on instead of my crappy screenshots that I've been using. If any of you guys make any builds and want to showcase them here, please leave a comment down below and maybe I'll showcase them in the next few videos. Right, now on to our first major change. Movement. Borderlands has definitely changed over the years, especially in the movement and gameplay department. Borderlands 3 gives a huge upgrade with sliding and mantling, allowing us to flow better during gameplay. But it didn't stop there. The fourth entry is giving us a whole plethora of movement features this time around, including the grapple hook, double jump, climbing, gliding, and even a real dodge/dash option. Add this with the changes we saw in 3, and it's a recipe for some crazy speedruns and action-packed gameplay moments. No longer will I be sat face tanking damage from a boss, and I can actually dodge my way out of attacks, so I'm very happy for some of these additions. Okay, so second on the list is the new skill trees. If you've seen on my channel recently, I've been making a few theorycraft build videos around 2 of the Vault Hunters that we've seen. Trust me, these skill trees are 1, massive, and 2, seem a lot more structured than previous games. Each Vault Hunter gets 3 skill trees still, but this time around each tree has 3 more mini sections to build into. You can tell the developers really wanted to give some more variety and choices that matter. For me, it feels like we can make at least 3 builds per skill tree, and that's before we get into class mods and gear sets involved. We also get a passive for each Vault Hunter that is specific to that Vault Hunter. We get 1 capstone that doesn't cost any points, so we can't go into 2 capstones anymore, but there is more capstones available, meaning that it is more build defining to take a capstone. I previously just mentioned gear sets, so this might as well be number 3 on the list. We don't have too much info to say here, but from what we've seen, this will be more of an endgame cherry on top for builds. If you've ever played like the Elder Scrolls Online or pretty much most MMOs, you'll know exactly how these will work. Basically, when a piece of gear drops that isn't a weapon, so anything for your like shield, you've got a rep kit, and maybe I think it's your ordnance as well. It can come with a thing called firmware. This firmware will have a requirement like 1 out of 3 pieces worn. If you get lucky and get all 3 pieces of the same gear with the same name/set, you'll get a bonus to say gun damage, or I don't know, rockets might shoot out every minute or something like that. It really depends on how deep they want to go with this system, but it allows players to seek out these firmware drops to make your build truly yours. Another note for firmware is it also seems like we'll have a reroll machine in the game, which I think for something like this is a perfect way to keep it balanced and not too RNG heavy, because I feel like in Borderlands 3 you'd hit a point where there's so many things going on, you don't really have that option to reroll properly, and I don't think you should be able to reroll things on weapons, but I do think for something like a little gear set for an extra bonus, you should be able to reroll a good piece of gear that you've got, so you don't have to refarm it again to get that specific firmware on it. If you've made it this far in the video, consider leaving a sub. It really helps out the channel and motivates me to pump out more content like this. Again, be more build videos, I'll do more info videos as well, and when the game drops I'll be streaming and posting a lot of that over here. I want to do legendary weapon guides, I want to do location guides, I want to do everything we can get done. I'm going to be making a lot of content throughout September. And last but definitely not least, I want to quickly talk about the loot in Borderlands 4. It is no secret that Borderlands 3 missed the mark for a lot of people, including me. These games are made for looting and shooting, yet in the past they seem to have left out the first part. Borderlands 4 has promised to bring that magic back like it was in Borderlands 2. I know some people disliked how rare stuff was back then, but in my opinion, if something isn't rare, it's not special, and the replay value is lost. If I get a drop right at the start of the game in Borderlands 3 for example, I don't need to go out my way to get anything, because it's just dropping for me instantly. Borderlands 4 is dropping with huge changes to loot, with weapon parts having a role in how the gun performs, stat-wise and effects. For example, a tall barrel on a Vladov SMG will give you stickies or explosive rounds, something like that, making this game have some crazy variety when it comes to gunplay. Drop rates have also been tweaked across the board to make every drop have a dopamine hit. All bosses will have dedicated drops on launch, allowing you to target farm your favourite weapons, and on top of all of it, no anointments. I could not stand the idea of having anointments. If you got a weapon to drop in Borderlands 3, you didn't care about the weapon, you only cared about the anointment, you didn't care what it did, you just wanted it to fit in with the rest of your stuff. The anointment was what people cared about instead of the weapon, so I'm very glad that that's getting changed. Either way, with all these changes, I'm sure that Borderlands 4 is going to roll out strong and finally have the comeback it deserves. Like, I did love Borderlands 3, but it didn't hit the mark like Borderlands 2 did for me. I remember playing it and just getting my first drops, getting my first infinity and farming for that drop, and I want to have that feeling again. I think Borderlands 4 is going to bring that back. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a like or a comment, it really helps me out. Have a good day and I'll catch you in the next one.